I put legs on it. It's not exactly what I envisioned, but I came across an issue. If I had this on a 45-degree angle, I wouldn't be able to lay up in here. The fiberglass wouldn't stick because it would be past the 90-degree angle. Pretty happy with it, pretty basic, which is probably the best design, basic design. It can rotate. I'll make some locks for it. I'm going to weld these to here, drill a hole through both, and put a locking pin in. I'm just going to use this reciprocating saw blade, sawzall, whatever you want to call it, as a spacer, so I don't get any rubbish when the car's swinging around. Alright, just cut out these little blocks just to hold it. This side was hitting on the fiberglass. It was hitting here before it was touching the frame. So I just got these two little blocks. Just going to weld those into place onto the frame, and then when the body swings around it won't hit the fiberglass anymore. That's them welder on. Can't really see that one. Again, this is Gal. I am in a very large space, the door open. If you've got a small shed, don't weld Gal in it unless you've got a respirator or a big fan going, but then that could mess up your welds because it'll blow away your gas. There's the other side there. Let's weld it from that side too. Yeah, so it'll help space the body off the frame so that the fiberglass isn't hitting it. Okay, so I tap these bits, M8. I just got my grinder and put a little, like a bullet point on there. That'll help locate the hole and take out some of the slop because this bolt is now bigger than the hole. I'm going to weld on like a little handle, just a piece of a little round stock or something, just to make it easier. Yeah. So I went with square stock because I just saw it sitting on the floor. I ground the little bullet shapes off because there's no way it's going to fit in there. Both sides. I'll test it out and have a look. Alright, so it turns out there is enough room for the bullet shape, so I put it back on there. The cone bit is sitting inside the here, which is what I wanted. This one, I might have to drill the inside hole out a little bit. It should be fine. I'm shaking the car, it's just rocking on the leg. Awkward as. Grab it from the inside. there it is on the floor, and it's at a pretty good height. So we'll get rid of those big sawhorses. Well, the floor hasn't been that clean in weeks. And I got myself a makeshift table now, which will be handy. This is at a really nice working height now. I'm very pleased with that. Now I can start finishing off the bodywork. I got a few touch-ups to do on these strips I put on. This needs a lot of sanding and some more filler, so it just keeps on cracking. I have got a plan B for this. It's a strip of steel. It's the same width, the same thickness. All I have to do is round off the edges and bend it to shape, and then probably screw it in from the back and then grind the heads off, or the screws off. Situation update. Found more cracks. This side isn't too bad, even though it looks pretty rough. This side I took completely off. The body filler that was on there never cured. It's soft, so you can see it bending before it breaks. It's just didn't put enough hardener in it. So it was my fault, but now I'm going to replace it with metal. Okay, this is 15 by 3. Not sure on the, 1/8 is 3, but maybe 5/8. It's pretty much the perfect width and height for this side. What I'm going to do is slowly bend it around here. I might use the roller, I'm not sure yet. I'll still need to put filler just to smooth out some of these rough edges. It should be, well, I know it won't crack like the body filler, so let's have a go at putting this on there. For the moment, I've clamped it on, just slowly trying to bend it by hand to fit that curve. I'm gonna definitely have to take it off and do the rest of it. I don't want this under spring tension. I want it to fit perfectly by itself with no clamps or anything, no pressure on it. So I'll just throw some texture marks on there where the curve really starts and roughly where it ends. Put some extra curve in that. I'll be going back and forth. I've got some ties here, I can try to roll it around those. When I figure it out, I'll show you. Well, that took me all over the shop. I'll show you in a minute. It fits pretty good. It is a little bit high there. So I've trimmed it short on both ends. I could use a little bit more massaging. So all I've been doing, well, mainly I've been bending it over this. Been using the hammer on here, and I used the roller to get the bulk of the shape in there, but it's not a constant curve, so I had to flatten it out a bit more. And yeah, I tried using one of the tires over here. It wasn't quite the right shape. But mostly I've been using the hammer. There's a few little kinks in there. I should be able to work those out with the hammer. Yeah, all over the shop for that one. but I know that's not going to crack. I just need to put filler on the ends to get the radiuses, like over here. I don't really want to do it to this side. It's all up there is perfect. It's just this part here, whereas this side, the whole thing was cracked, and it wasn't. It was entirely my fault. There it is on the floor. Carnage. Look, there's a curly bit here. Who thought body filler would have curled? That's what you get for not putting enough hardener in it. Becomes not hard. Anyway, I'll get that fitting perfect. Drill and screw, they're all the same. You don't really need to see that. I'll show you afterwards. And there it is, screwed into place. Had a screw strip out on me here, the head of it. So I'll just fill that up with filler. You'll be fine. There's still some threads in there for it to grab onto. The screws pulled it in nice and close. There is the odd little, that's an illusion from the grinder. That is a nice smooth arc. Yeah, pretty good. At least I know this one won't crack on me. I'll just grind those heads off. Well, points, even though they look pretty cool, but can't have them there. And put some filler in to make these corners again. Put a bit down the side here, just to smooth it out. And on the inside too, and in here, just to make it all nice and uniform. Alright, I'll get you caught up with what I've done. I've replaced this side with metal, just like this one. I was taking some measurements. It's really hard to do because there's no square points on this car. There's not a single straight edge on it. So I took a measurement from there, went over this side, and it was different by about 4 millimeters, which is quite noticeable. So these bits are quite close together. You can see them at the same time. So I ended up replacing that with steel. I've been working on getting this edge straight and flat. Found a few more holes in the gel coat. I've been sanding the car. These things are an absolute pain in the butt. There's so many little flaws in them. I'll try and sand them out. There's a big low spot here. So I've got that nice and straight. Still quite a bit more sanding to do. Got to get rid of all the shiny bits. And just about to start sanding on the boot lid, which fits really good. Yeah, that's where I'm at. I figured you wouldn't want to watch me sanding it, because I wouldn't want to watch me sanding it. Yeah, that's it. So, get back to sanding.